Lei kamali e kua hiwi kaulana o ewa e ki ana i ka makani o kaina e au e ke aloha au e wai ka nuku naka e nawe mai e kei ka mea ho o ka haina, ai a haina, ua kaulana maino. Ukuna mai, ala hula pualoha, ke ala hele na ka ahu paha. Ala hula pualoha, ke ala hele na ka ahu paha. Bom bom, bom bom bom, bom bom bom, bom bom bom. E Hawaii nui kua ulu. O Maui nui a kama, o ahu o ka kuhi hewa, e mau ke au ka aina i ka pono. E nā i wale no kou, i ku pono a ole pā. Pono o Hawaiian e mau ke o ka aina i ka pono e mau ke o ka aina i ka pono nani ka e Hawaiian nui kua ulu kaulana o e Hawaiian nui kua ulu mau ke o ka aina i ka pono e nā i wale no kou i ku pono a ole pā i ke ku pono o Hawaii e mau ke o ka aina i ka pono e mau ke o ka aina i ka pono.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kamehameha Alumni Glee Club and you know, earlier this evening, Clara, we were talking about your beginnings in show business, and we got up to a point where you joined Harry Owens and his group.
Mm-hmm.
And just happens to be here tonight, Harry Owens, would you believe? Harry, please.
There he is.
Sweet Leilani, heavenly flower.
Papa-san.
Hattie-san.
Harry, I'm interested in knowing how the very first contact you had with Clara, how did that come about? How did you hear about her?
I think I'd have to go just a little bit ahead of that, may I?
Please do.
Just about a half a minute ahead of that. On behalf of me, and I'm sure on behalf of you and the millions around the world who know Clara, God bless Hilo Hattie, may she live and laugh and love and be as young as she is tonight forever. Bless you.
Harry, don't leave. I want you to introduce those film clips. The film clips. Harry, before you go, we didn't talk too much about some of the engagements you played, and I'm newer here than you were. I've only been here about 30 years. Did you and Clara work here in Hawaii at all, ever?
Yes, we worked at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel for quite a number of years. That's when I stole Hilo Hattie away from Louisa Cayo's Royal Hawaiian Girls.
Ah.
She was up in the front row with this 40 girls, and she was always breaking up the show, doing a little something with her hips. And I thought, this is very serious. So I said, let's put the girl in the back row and get her so that keep this thing, you know, just sort of dignified. So we put Hilo Hattie in the back row. And so all the tables, they wanted to sit in the back row so they could see Clara enter. She was Clara enter then, so I said, well, gee, this is too much. So I stole her away from Louisa Cayo, and Louise forgave me eventually. And that's how the whole thing started. And then we made Hilo Hattie a star in her own right.
Where did Hilo Hattie come from, the name? How did that originate?
Well, it was the song that Don McDermott wrote for her, Hilo Hattie, that made this hop thing so famous. So eventually, when we went to the mainland, and all of these little sparrows were around trying to grab my little girl away from me, I took Hattie into the courts of Los Angeles and legally changed her name to Hilo Hattie. And that's how the name came along.
I see.
And of course, that was all changed by a violinist of mine who was working with me by the name of Carlisle Nelson, and he married my girl and took her away from me. But what a nice guy he is. And we're happy that he's here tonight, Carlisle. God bless.
Now, in all the traveling and the touring, I'm sure that Hollywood beckoned at some time.
Well, right from the beginning, when I was attending the university trying to get my degree, you see, I was an old territorial normal school graduate, and that was like a high school graduate. But I had taught and decided I had to get advice. I went to Dean Wist at the Teachers College, and I said, gee, I don't know what to do. They're criticizing me about entertaining, and because I'm a school teacher, and he said, you know, this is in 1940. And he said, I tell you what you do, take a sabbatical leave. See, because I was a school teacher, a lot of people didn't approve of my performing with, you know, shows around town.
Listen, we have that going on now. Larry Price, the football coach, is on television selling commercials, you know.
But anyway...
To interrupt for a moment, Hattie,
yeah.
Might I suggest that you're still on sabbatical leave?
Well, yeah. Anyway, I went back to school, normal school, and I was just getting ready for my final exams for that year, the junior year. He telephones me from Los Angeles. He said, can you come over for 2 weeks? 2 weeks and a 2-week option, and we're going to do a show at the Paramount Theater in Los Angeles. So I went to the dean, everything was worked out. On Decoration Day, I left Honolulu, went to join him in Los Angeles. We opened at the Paramount for 2 weeks, and my option was picked up for 2 more weeks, then another 2 weeks. In the meantime, at the Paramount, the most important people at 20th Century Fox came in to catch a show, and they immediately thought of an island picture. And that trip lasted 6 years before I came home.
What was the first picture you did?
Song of the Islands.
A Song of the Islands? And then what else?
They still got that on the Late Late Show.
Yeah, like
Still playing. It was with the late Betty Grable, Victor Mature, Thomas Mitchell.
Oh, yes.
And Hilo Hattie, and we should give her the top.
And Jack Oakey.
Jack Oakey.
Oakey.
And I can remember that we were having bad times, and we were getting a little tired. We were working too hard. I had 7 songs to write for the show. And Hattie was saying to me, you're looking tired, Papa Son. She said, you got 3 more songs to write. We have 2 more albums to make, and we're due to come home to Hawaii to reopen the Royal Hawaiian on New Year's Eve, and this is 1941. So we got everything finished, and we worked night and day to get things done. And on December 7th, things happened.
Yes.
And on December the 8th, I had a wire say, don't come back for New Year's Eve. You're as of this moment out of a job because the Navy has taken over the Royal Hawaiian Hotel for the duration. And we went on the air that night, coast to coast. And they monitored my program on radio, our program, On the show, on the list, was Tahoe, Hawaii, the Hawaiian war chant. They said, delete it. You must not speak a word of war.
Well, Harry, I think that about winds up this portion of
great.
this reminiscing. I want to thank you very
privileged
much.
to be here.
God bless.
And
Harry
thank
Owens,
you
ladies
so
and
much.
gentlemen.
Thank you for coming.
And to wind up the first half of this show, as Harry leaves the stage, the Kamehameha Alumni Glee Club on center stage.
Is that?
These are the Miley Aloha Singers, I'm sorry.
Aloha iwanai, malu i ulu niu ka holana o pokahi, e nani ke ike aku. Aloha iwanai, malu i ulu niu ka holana o pokahi, e nani ke ike aku. Kila kila ka ala. Kamakani he kaya ulu he ahi ahi maoli he Ui ke ala o ka wakuhi he kuala ona ona Ana kamakani he kaya ulu he ahi ahi maoli he Ui ke ala o ka wakuhi he kuala ona ona Aina mai kapuana Eomi aloha yamakohu, eomi pauina ole. Haina mai kapuana, o wainai kuhone. Eomi aloha yamakohu, eomi pauina ole.
Kalia, kanoi a loko, o vai kalia, kanoi a loko. O nei a kapo, o kalia e kalu. Vai
And seated around the audience tonight, as a matter of fact, we have a few folks that many of you have seen and heard of and been entertained by. And I'm going to call up on our stage now a man who's internationally known and has brought so much of the feeling of Hawaii to the whole world that it's almost unbelievable. Wherever you go, in any country in the world today, as soon as you say, "I'm from Hawaii," they say, "Do you know Jack Lord?" Jack. Bum. Oh no, that's Jack Webb.
Clara, can I get this over?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Hey, wait a minute, Jake. Where's mine?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't mean to lay. I mean, all right.
That's enough.
For those of you who don't know about Alima, only the Ali'i, the royalty of Hawaii, were allowed to wear it. And this is an Alima lei for our royalty.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I haven't had the privilege of working so much for Auntie Clara, as so many of the performers have who are here to honor her tonight. But I knew about her long before I came to Hawaii. We lived on East 48th Street in New York City, and 1 block away was the famous Hawaiian room at the Hotel Lexington on the corner of 48th and Lex. And every night when I'd walk home as an out-of-work actor, I remember seeing these marvelous big posters and that beautiful marquee with those magical words, starring Hilo Hattie. Then, after the advent of Hawaii Five-0, I had the joy of working in 2 episodes with Hilo, and I think we have some film clips to show you tonight. She's a natural actress. She's beautiful to work with. She's a joy, and I hope she does many more for us. Of course, Clara has always been to me the embodiment, the living expression of the sometimes overworked word, aloha. But I'm in awe of her. I love her, I bless her, and I wish that many, many more years of doing what she loves to do best and doing what we love to see her do. God bless you, honey. I adore
Thank
you.
you.
And Marie does too.
Thank you.
Don't go, Jack. Jack, don't go.
May I explain a little about this group gathered on stage right now? They just finished the concert Saturday night, the closing of Aloha Week for the Aloha Week Ball. It's a combination of the Maile Aloha singers who are, some of them are students who had been with the madrigal singers in other high school groups and went to the university, and some of them are otherwise employed in town. The group, the Kamehameha Alumni Glee Club, consists of men who are engaged in occupations of various kinds, professional men, non-professional, and even one guy in the group works with the refuse department. I call it the refuse department. Sometimes there's refuse to pick up the garbage. They, him. But this is a combination of our young people and our middle young people. I love them. I hope they're going to do Teve Teve. Okay, all yours.
Used to fly like the birds on the wings of the wind. I have played in the sun with the joy deep within. I have laughter as a toy and the sweet for my tune in the beautiful days of my youth. Everyone that I met was a friend, not a foe. The fears I have learned way back then I didn't know. Not one mean and unkind, not one foreign truth in the beautiful days of my youth. The time the years and the roads of old dreams have diminished and gone. Now the child that I face, no familiar he sees, is wearing my eyes and living my dreams. My innocent child must bear the untruths of the magical days, the bright shining days, the beautiful
And that's Pauhana Years for today, the fourth program of the tribute to Hawaii's Clown Princess, Hilo Hattie. When we started this series on the Hilo Hattie love affair, we thought we'd have 4 segments, but there's still another. The fifth and final will be presented on New Year's Day. Until our next program, this is Bob Barker leaving you with this thought. Next to beauty is the power of appreciating beauty.
Deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, without a hurt The heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow, 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 follow.